dig our way out of debt
Don't push pause.
through a period where we were foolish spenders.
Things that we had to learn was to tell ourselves no.
Remember the hot dog?
Oh, yes. This is the thing. You're surrounded by friends. They're buying cars and like going on vacation. The amount of money that we were spending monthly on rent, very much close to a mortgage. The more you make, the more you spend. And that
Time to say yes. We said yes to the right thing. Miss Nancy.
And my name is Luis.
I thought you were going for Life.
Oh.
Nancy.
Hey guys, I'm Life.
And we're married.
Yes, 18 years.
I'm a realtor here in Texas.
And I'm a firefighter paramedic. Yeah.
We're California transplants. We live in North Houston. So one of the things that we want to do is give you information about the area in case you're considering moving to North Houston. Also give some advice based on things that we've learned, like tried and true life lessons.
Yeah.
So one of the lessons that we learned was that good things come to those who wait.
Mm-hmm. But better things come for those who actually do.
Yes. So what does that look like when you're trying to get into your first home? What is the patiently waiting part? What are you actually doing in that patiently waiting part?
Do you want water?
No, he wants food.
Oh.
Half a cup of his drink.
Do you want to push pause on this thing?
No, let it run. Just let it run. Okay.
Yeah. You might wait for a long time, but if you don't pull the trigger, you know, it's not gonna come.
Exactly, and that's the hardest part, really. Working hard, saving where we could. We had to dig our way out of debt. There, go Dave Ramsey. In the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. And
Super expensive.
it's not cheap, not easy. Step number one in that patiently waiting meant also patiently saving. Now, we went through a period where we were foolish spenders.
It was definitely
it was
not
our
her
honeymoon period. It was not my fault.
She's the responsible saver. I'm complete opposite.
But I did get sucked in. And so we had way too many Disneyland trips and fancy dinners and
then the kids came.
and that, well, we snowballed and we were able to pay off like close to $45,000 in debt between credit cards, cars, everything.
One of the hardest things that we had to learn was to tell ourselves no.
Remember the hot dog?
Oh, yes. She was pregnant and she was craving a hot dog. I said, nope, no hot dog.
No hot dog.
We want a hot dog, we want a house. And then it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You're going to have to get into that mindset that the reward is worth it.
Whether it was $50 a month, that's all we could save, or $500 a month. At the same time, there was another thing that you were doing.
So we realized, okay, how do I increase this, right? We spend less, right? How do I spend less? We take care of debt. So we take care of debt and we save. And another way was to increase our income. 2008 hit and I was in construction and I quickly found myself out of a job and that's when I make a career change. And a lot of people sometimes are afraid to do this because they already have something good going on, or so they think, but you're not moving at the pace that you need to or that you want to. So back to school, had to turn around, start back at the bottom and start building.
Yes, you were back making $13 an hour.
I think I started like at $9.50 for like a probation time, and then I went up to like 12 or 13, but it was like half, right?
And you know what's crazy about that? Crazy? We were making less money than when we were making when things were amazing.
Yeah.
We started saving more. So the extra income,
man,
it was just getting spent. We were actually now making less
and saving more.
So
the more you make, the more you spend. And that's where the discipline comes in. It took about those 7 or 8 years for me to become a firefighter. And like the whole time it was moving forward. The whole time that was the goal. Like, we're gonna buy a house. Yeah. It worked.
We were patient. Now we had 2 kids. We had 2 babies. With that came a little raise.
But not without sacrifice. Now I have to work night shifts.
We found a rental, 800 square foot, and it was $1,900 a month. And it was such a stretch for us.
This is 12 years ago. And this is the thing, you're surrounded by friends, they're buying cars and like going on vacations and buying gifts. You want to buy a car too. You want all these things, but you gotta keep your mind What's the price? And like, hey, we want to buy a house.
Yeah, so for about 2 to 3 years, we hunkered down. We did say no a lot. It wasn't like we never saw friends, but we didn't go out to dinner all the time. And we started hosting a lot of dinners because it was cheaper for us to just make a meal for everybody than for us to go out. Do you find creative ways even in those tight times?
To still socialize, you know, we're not saying become a hermit and come out of your shell in 5 years and you buy a house. No. When you start to see the results, like when you go to the gym and you start to see the results, you're like, I want to keep going. Quickly realized that the amount of money that we were spending monthly on rent, it was very much close to a mortgage. But the problem was this, we didn't have enough down payment to put us at that mortgage. So that's when we had to make adjustments.
We needed at least $50,000. One of the things that we were curious about, how are our friends able to buy homes, right? And here we are, we feel working just as hard. A lot of them had help from somebody. And whether it was an aunt, an uncle, family member, parents, or an inheritance, something, right? Okay, maybe we could ask my parents for help.
So when you grind together, then you get to shine together.
My parents saw Leif and I grinding for years and saving and driving the old 1996 Ford Explorer.
Yeah, go it yourself.
Because we were not gonna have a car payment.
Yeah.
Like they saw us trying really hard. So when we came up with the $50,000, which is what we needed for our down payment, and we were short just a little bit. And so when we approached them and asked them for help, they were happy to do it for us. We went from renting to owning, and for us to be able to do that, we had to look outside of our ideals.
Yeah, we found out our ideals are pretty pricey.
It was like the ideal location, but it was way out of our budget. In order for us to be able to afford a house, we had to make this big move inland. We found a house that we really loved. The yard was not done.
Weeds and rabbits.
Yeah. But it had so much potential. We moved into this house. It was in a new community.
And it was a rather way bigger house than we were living in San Ramon in 800 something square feet. And we moved to something that was like almost 4 times the size.
Yes. And so we didn't have furniture to furnish
a
3,000 square foot house. So we borrowed furniture.
Yeah.
The sacrifice was the location.
Right.
It was going to increase both of our commutes substantially. We just knew we needed to step in to the home ownership world. We went ahead and did what was best for our family in that moment. And so we had a fantastic experience living in Mountain House. Housing market in Mountain House boomed. Now everyone wanted to live out there because the houses were big and everybody was working from home. That boosted our house value. It really gave us the opportunity to now be able to move out of state, which is what we did. Making that initial step was what we knew was gonna then propel us into anything further.
And like that discipline built up over time that we were able to do a lot of different projects and like get to see it through. We learned that we worked together really well.
Yeah. And then when it was time to say yes, we said yes to the right thing, even though it felt like it wasn't the best. It truly, in the end,
100%.
was. Now we're gonna take that same framework of saving diligently, only buying what makes sense for us right now in the investment world. And we're looking forward to be able to purchase our first investment. But we are short some cash. And so we are going
we're gonna do a GoFundMe to
no,
I'm just kidding.
We are going to save everything that we're gonna be doing in this process to be able to get into our first investment. We're gonna do it here with
you. You know, this is not like an Instagram story where like they show you all these miracles that happen. No, like if it's hard and it looks impossible and it's gonna have setbacks, well, we're gonna show you. You know what it's like to do. You know, scared money doesn't make no money, so we're just gonna do it. You're gonna witness it all.
And so we hope that you will join us on this journey. If you're someone, whether you are hoping to get into your first home or get into your first investment, then we want to be a resource for you. I am happy to serve anyone at any stage here in the great state of Texas.